Hey guys, it's me. It's Queen Offset Haru, and I'm coming to you today with another exciting edition of Ask An Aquarius. Okay, so first of all, if you like this video, when it's over, please like it. Please share it with your friends. And and underneath here, there is a share button, and underneath that is a subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button, a bell will pop up, and punch the bell so that whenever I do another video, you'll get notified. Okay? I'm finally starting to figure out how YouTube works. I feel proud of myself. Okay, so today's topic is pretty interesting. Someone came to me and asked me a question. Now, normally I do not answer questions that I do not know anything. No, not even normally. I never answer questions that I don't know anything about. Okay? This person asked me about my thoughts on Kanye West. Now, I've talked about Cardi B in the past. I talk about different celebrities that I actually like sometimes, but I never really speak on Kanye because I really don't know very much about him. So this person asked a question, though, that I do know about and I thought was very relevant. This person asked me, did I believe that Kanye West was possessed by an entity, either a demon or a spirit? And I thought that was very interesting because, number one, people do get possessed by all kinds of entities, spirits, and things along those lines. It's not as common as one would think. Like, the situation with, for instance, The Exorcist. Those are really extreme cases. Sometimes you have mild possessions. But like I said before, those real full-fledged ones are really extreme cases. So this person asked me to consider, did I think that maybe he's possessed? And I had to think like, okay, I can understand where they're going with that because his behavior, from what I did see in the news and from what I have heard about him, has changed. But there are a number of reasons why a person's behavior can change. Simply old age can change a person. So this person asked me, what did I think? So first and foremost, I want to say that I do not think Kanye is possessed by a spirit or a demon. I don't. And I'm going to tell you why. Because it's two different reasons. Number one, when you look at demonology, when you look at the signs of possession, he does have a lot of the signs, such as erratic behavior, acting differently, radical changes to your physical appearance, incoherent rants. All those kind of things are very common in a demonic possession, but they're also very common in mental health issues, and they're very common in drug abuse. So you have to look at all of the characteristics to see if it's one of those things. So what I did was I just considered all the characteristics of possession. And he's missing four big ones that will tell me that he is possessed by the devil. Or a demon or a bad spirit or something. The first one is that when a person is possessed by a demon specifically, they will have the knowledge of foreign languages. They'll be able to speak in Latin and sometimes other languages as well. And they will not have been trained in these languages. It's a very common sign that demonologists look for. Another thing that they look for is supernatural things, supernatural activities. We all saw The Exorcist. We all know it was based on a true story that was Hollywoodified, okay? But one thing that happened is that she levitated off of the bed. A lot of cases tell us that something supernatural goes on, such as levitation or such as the being able to read the other person's mind. There was a part in The Exorcist when the little girl said to him something about his mother and something about him not being there for his mother or something like that. I don't remember the movie. I haven't seen it in 20 years. But it was something about his mother, something that she could not have possibly known. She didn't know him to know his mother or about his mother. So a lot of times we see like some kind of spiritual activity, some kind of psychic ability, clairvoyancy, something like that. I have not seen that present with Kanye. Another thing we always see is extraordinary strength. Like that little girl could lift up the bed, you know. And sometimes there's an aversion to things that are sacred, like holy water, crosses, things like that. Now, I don't know if he has an aversion to things that are sacred. I've never seen him respond weird to anything that was sacred, so I don't think so. So for me, those four things in itself tell me he's definitely not demon possessed. You know, that's the bottom line to that. He'd have to have one or all of those to at least be considered by the Vatican to be demon possessed. The Vatican has like a checklist. You know, they do like an interview with you, and if you don't meet the criteria, the Vatican will not help you. If you call for an exorcist, like straight up, if you call the Vatican for an exorcist and you don't have any of these things present, they're not going to help you. You need to have, I think, all of them, if not most of them. I'm not sure how many. I've never read the application, but I've heard priests interviewed on TV. And like I've seen like different books where they've been interviewed, or I've seen like things written on exorcism. I've seen the rite of exorcism itself, you know, and basically you have to really have a problem. You can't come in there and, you know, and say, okay, this person is ranting and I think they're possessed by a demon. That's not enough. You got to be showing these real signs, because a demon has supernatural abilities. So those supernatural abilities are going to be present. I had said a long time ago, maybe a couple days ago, I said that I thought that my ex Voldemort, not my ex situationship Voldemort was possessed by a demon. And I still think that. I still think Voldemort is possessed. But the reason why is Voldemort has these things present. Voldemort hears spirits. He hears voices. He hears spirits. He sees spirits. That's psychic abilities right there. I don't know. I've never seen him have an aversion to sacred things, but I've never seen him around sacred things. He definitely has an aversion when I talk about spirit and spirituality. He doesn't really have extraordinary strength. And he does not have foreign languages either. So he has 2 out of the 4. So I don't know. That's, you know, because the other ones, I don't know if they're present or not. So that makes me really question it. But anyway, he does have some of them present. So that's what makes me say I'm not sure. I think, you know. But Kanye doesn't have any of them. So he more than likely is not demon possessed. So, but Voldemort said that he hears spirits, he's seen spirits. And another thing, and this is a big one for people who are possessed, and I see this a lot, there is when you're around them, you can tell that it's not just the two of you in the room. If you ever walk into a room with 20 people in it, you can tell a difference in the energy. The energy, it just, if you close your mouth and close your ears and just feel, it feels different when you're in a room with a lot of people. And it feels differently when you're by yourself. We're never really by ourselves, so that's kind of questionable. But it feels differently than if there are 20 living souls in the room, put it like that. Whenever I'm with Voldemort on the phone, on the internet, or in person, I don't feel like we're alone. I feel a presence with him. Now, I've never been around Kanye to know if that feeling is there, you know, like something like you can see it. It's something that you see come over them. They'll be sitting there like, yeah. And something just comes over them. And it's like sudden and it's weird. So I've never been alone with Kanye. I don't even know Kanye. So I can't tell you, if it's true or not. And I want you guys to know I don't have anything against Kanye. He had one song I liked, which was Gold Digger. I loved Gold Digger. I thought Gold Digger was a fun song because some women are gold diggers. It is what it is. And me, quite frankly, I don't even think it's always that they're a gold digger. I think that they're looking for security and for their significant other to provide, which is what our society tells us our husband is supposed to do. But we'll deal with that in another video. So I thought it was weird that he wrote a song about gold diggers and then married Kim K, who I don't have anything against either. I actually like Kim K. But then again, I have a thing for women with big booties and I like baby oil. So maybe that has something to do with it, you know. But the bottom line is that I don't have anything against these people. So I just want you to know before you inbox me saying, oh my God, you're being so unfair to Kanye, that no, I just got asked the question and I thought about it. I pondered it, you know. I like that one song by him. I never really paid him much attention. He said a lot of things I did not like, honestly. This whole Make America Great thing and him running around with Trump, I don't like it all, quite frankly. But I don't have anything against him, you know, because I really think that a lot of, even though I don't like it, I don't even really think that is him, okay? And I'm going to tell you. So I don't think he's possessed. I think it's mental health issues, and I'm going to tell you why. After I finished looking up the signs of possession so I could talk about them in this video, I decided to pull out my trusty deck. You all know I got like 30 decks here. So I pulled out this deck. This is one of my favorites. This one is called the Urban Tarot. Really cool deck. So for any of you who read, it's a nice deck. It's based on New York City. There's diversity in here, which is one of the things I really love in my decks. I love seeing different people, men, women sometimes. I do have a couple decks with all females that I love though, but I like diversity as far as culture is concerned and things like that. So I pulled out my deck and I said, deck, is Kanye possessed? I just flat out asked, what's going on with him? And I didn't get anything around possession. Nothing. But I'm going to tell you what I did get. I got the Two of Cups reversed. Now, anybody that knows anything about tarot, you know that the cups represent emotion. When the Two of Cups is reversed, it represents someone who is having emotional problems. They're having problems of the heart. Their heart is broken. That's what that card means. It's a heartbroken person. Somebody who has had some kind of emotional trauma. It could be a lover, it could be a family member, but the need there is for emotional healing. The need there is to heal. Okay? So when I got that card for Kanye, I'm like, this boy is not possessed. This boy is hurting. And that's why I don't get angry. I don't like being angry, period. But that's why I don't get angry with him about his stupid comments, you know, because I really honestly believe, and then since I pulled that card, I really believe that the boy's hurting. I think that's what's going on with him. I think that he's hurting. I know one thing about him. I know his mom died, and I know he was close to his mom, and I know he's still grieving it because recently he did a song or something about it, and the doctor that was involved had clapped back at him online, and it was viral. Everybody was talking about it. So I do remember that. And that tells me he's not over her death, which I don't know if you ever really get over a death. I guess you just kind of learn to move on, you know? And some people don't even do that. Death is not easy. My grandmother died when I was 7 and I still grieve her. So I totally understand that. So what I'm thinking is that he's grieving the loss of his mother. He's probably had some other things affect his heart chakra. He may even have some issues with depression. God knows what else, you know. I did hear him talking about taking meds at one time. So I think the other thing we're dealing with is some kind of chemical addiction. So I think what you're dealing with here is a chemical addiction mixed up with an emotional health issue. That's what I think is going on with Kanye. Emotional, mental health, and addiction. Like he's taking prescription drugs, I think, because he mentioned it himself. He said that they gave him 7 pills and he was only taking 1 or 2 or something like that. He was talking about it on online, as a matter of fact. I saw it on YouTube. And I was sitting there looking like, okay, so there's a drug problem here and there's a mental health issue, an emotional health issue. So to answer your question, Steve, I'm gonna call you Steve. I don't think so. I don't think so at all. No. I know where you got the theory from. It makes sense. It does make sense. But the reason why I answered this question is because I thought it was a good theory, number one. And number two, because I wanted people to see that just because somebody has whacked out behavior doesn't mean it's demonic or spiritual possession. Like, sometimes it is. Like, seriously, sometimes it is. But these cases are not the norm. I wanted you guys to understand that. These cases are rare. They do happen. I know a lot of mediums. I come across spirits. As a matter of fact, today I'm getting ready to go do a house cleansing and blessing to get negative spirits out. I mean, this is something that's very much a part of what I do every day. But it's not something that just happens all the time like it does on television and like it does in movies. These are very special cases. There are a lot of these cases. If you Google demonologists, you'll see a lot of these cases. Yes, you will. If you go to the Vatican, if you go to the Rome, you'll see a lot of these cases. You'll see a lot of exorcisms done. Other places too, you'll see that going on. Even in America, you'll see exorcisms going on. So it does happen. I'm not saying that it doesn't occur. I'm saying that it's not always the case. And people jump to that sometimes. And I think that you have to really just look at the signs. You got to look at the signs. All right, so that's my piece on it. That's my piece on Kanye. And all I'm going to say is that I pray that he gets the healing that he needs. He has enough money to get the healing. He got enough money to hire somebody to help him heal. He has enough money to help him get through it. The question, I don't think, is the money. I think the question is the strength and the desire, the drive, the motivation to change. To heal. So I just pray that it happens. I pray that it happens for him, because I don't like how we have celebrities and they'll be going through something and everybody will be sitting back, pointing at them, jeering at them, laughing at them. We need to be praying for him. Seriously. When Whitney Houston was, smoking crack, everybody was laughing and joking about it, calling her a crackhead. But we should have been praying for that girl. We should have been. We should have been praying for that girl a lot more than we were. And I noticed that when one of the celebrities this week, her name is Demi something. I don't know who she is. But she had a heroin overdose. And everybody was praying for her. And I'm like, we should have been praying for Whitney too. Seriously. So if you're watching this and, you have compassion, say a quick prayer for Kanye. Just say a quick prayer for the God that he heals. Likewise, I want to end this by dedicating this to Jeffrey. Jeffrey is my cousin's husband. He died a couple days ago from a heroin overdose, according to the reports. And I want to dedicate this video to Jeffrey because I think that he had emotional and obviously drugs that if we had known or if we had prayed for him, maybe he would still be here with us. So let's pray for Kanye so we're not in this space with him, anytime soon. Okay? So if you like this video, please like it and tell me in the comments what you think. Give me your opinions. Do you know people that have been possessed? Do you know people who you think are possessed? Do you know people that you think other people think are possessed, but they just not? Tell me what you think. Okay? Take care.